I think one of the important things always to keep in mind in this, and it shows that we have a tremendous undertaking ahead of us in terms of changing our voting system, is there's really two parts to the process. Number one, you have to choose a new system, and we're headed in the direction of choosing a system that's going to have a paper ballot in some form. But there's a whole second component of that, is you have to rewrite all Georgia laws related to voting to adapt to that system, because our current Georgia laws on voting are all totally driven by the DRE system that we currently employ. And the writing of those laws is tremendously important in terms of making sure the system is accountable and auditable, and that the public has confidence in it. I absolutely agree that the Florida election, the situation in Florida from the past presidential election is kind of sort of the searing event in everybody's mind. But one thing to think back about is when everybody was trying to when the issue of a hanging Chad became a public controversy, there was actually tremendous vision into what was taking place. And that was partly because it was occurring in the state of Florida, which has a fierce open records, open meetings laws, and also a culture that's very focused on trying to make sure the government is accountable. So the media was there as literally the recounts were taking places. You would see that on the television cameras, them looking up and looking at the hanging Chad. In the Georgia system, there is not the same level of accountability in our current system. Not surprisingly, it's hard to be accountable when entire votes are kept on a little plastic card with a chip in it. And so there's very little vision into recounts until and unless the courts get involved and they require public access. But my hope is that as we rewrite these laws to adapt to the new technology that the state chooses, that we're making sure that in the event of things like recounts and controversies, the public and the press have a role in monitoring and observing the recount process to make sure it accurately reflects the vote.